Welcome, Comic Clan. Today we are looking at indie roguelite Elsie, developed by Night Shift Games and published by Playtonic Friends. You might know Playtonic as Playtonic Games. They developed the indie classic Yooka-Laylee and eventually went on to form their own publishing division. They also provided the key for us to check out Elsie pre-release, and we greatly appreciate the opportunity. Elsie takes place on the planet of Ekis, which was overrun with natural disasters. Dr. Gray created a group of androids called the Guardians that were able to quell this chaos. Then the world eventually saw a time of peace. Until the Guardians disappeared, that is. You play as Elsie, Dr. Gray's latest creation, tasked with finding the Guardians so they can bring the peace back to the planet. The game's heaviest influences are anime for its presentation and Mega Man for the general gameplay, along with a great soundtrack and voice acting as a nice bonus. You'll be blasting, sliding, and wall-clinging your way through various robot enemies and bosses. The roguelike elements are fairly standard for the genre, and you will die a lot before you eventually get stronger, and then die some more. This is not the first time the Mega Man gameplay and roguelite genre have crossed paths, thanks to the 20XX series, which I personally never found my groove on. I do prefer Elsie. Its gameplay and classic 2D pixel art style work so well together that I have found myself entering the flow state on multiple occasions, and I keep wanting to come back. Each run consists of randomly generated rooms or spaces. Some require you to defeat all enemies, while others don't. I was really fighting the urge to clear a room before I would move on to the next, but I had to, just because it was more important for me to survive. In between these battles are some rooms in which you can rest and heal, or purchase upgrades that will greatly help you along the way. As you defeat enemies, you'll level up and gain other bonuses that get you ready for the upcoming boss fight. Once you get through the initial sky biome, you will get to explore others such as a snowy tundra or neon-lit cyberpunk metropolis. I haven't quite pinned this down yet, but Elsie seems to be a bit more generous than most roguelites because I did feel an extreme progression of power when I was working towards a boss fight. And then eventually when I took down that boss, it just feels like I went back to square one a little, even though I did have some permanent upgrades unlocked already. Even so, the game still does well in displaying a great progression of power. As enemies become more manageable, you tend to kind of know their patterns at a certain point. It is best to utilize the game's unique parry mechanic, dash, and special abilities, including her superpowered laser that can take enemies off the screen in one blow. More often than not, the idea is to survive this literal bullet hell that you will be walking through. In between runs, you have the hub area where you'll spend time purchasing more permanent upgrades that might just make a difference in your next outing. Unfortunately, I did have some technical issues that I assume are just pre-release bugs that will get fixed before day one. Every once in a while, the sound and music break mid-combat, which can come at a bad time if you're looking for a particular audio cue. Also, on one occasion, I had to restart a run because I got stuck inside a platform during one of the Target Challenge minigames. Issues like this can be par for the course if you are looking at a game before it is supposed to be released. So again, I'm pretty positive that these will get fixed day one. Roguelites are a saturated genre in the indie space, and I don't end up returning to most of them. However, Elsie is one that I can see myself going back to because in the few days that I had to review this, I could not resist playing it for at least a couple hours every session. I can see it falling through the cracks as on the surface it looks like something that has already been done before, but it is simply well crafted and fun to play. And for my final thoughts, I give Elsie a 7.5 out of 10. It has an uphill battle to fight in the indie space. There are some big dogs out there that I don't think it quite stacks up with, but it sure plays like one. I look forward to future updates because they can only improve upon what is already a great start. So I wish all the best for the devs and their future work on this project. Thank you for watching, and if you have not yet already, please like this video and go subscribe for more Comics in the Cross gaming content.